Good morning, South America. I'm Davi Vieira, and I will talk about a country that's been attracting the attention of many people lately, Japan, or in Japanese, Nihon or Nippon. Having Japanese as its national language, a language that does not have exact records of when it began to be used, but there are Chinese scriptures from the 3rd century AC that presents scriptures in a more rudimentary Japanese, so much so that Mandarin itself served as the basis form one of the three alphabets of Japanese, the kanji. English also influenced the construction of the Japanese language, having words that serve as a base until today, such as karaoke, and keiki, cake. However, English is still treated as a foreign language. The currency unit used in Japan is the yen, which is the third most traded currency on the foreign exchange market after the USA dollar and the euro. Talking of money, Japan has a nominal GDP of around 5 trillion US dollars, being the third largest behind only the USA and China, in the GDP per capita of around 40,000 US dollars, ranking 22nd in the world ranking. Counting all the islands, including small islands and the islands disputed by other territories, Japan has 6,852 islands, with a total population of about 826 million inhabitants, the 10th in the world ranking. And talking about population, Japan has more than 10 cities with more than 1 million inhabitants, the most populous being Tokyo with about 14 million, Yokohama with about 3.7 million, Osaka with about 2.7 million, and Nagoya with around 2.3 million. And to help those who are interested in my chosen country, I included a list of the 4 best places to visit when you, by some chance of fate, are in this wonderful country called Japan. Remember, this list assembled based on my opinions. Thanks. Remembering that this list is not following the best to worth or nothing like that. I just put what came to my mind. So, at first, I introduced Neko, a small town near Tokyo, a place for those who want to see construction magnificent among the exuberant nature. The city's postcard is the Toshogu Shrine and its Yomeimon Gate, built in honor of the shogun, which means armed commander in Japanese, Tokugawa Ieyasu, the general who unified Japan in the 7th century. Another place to visit in Nikko would be the Goju Moto, the 5-storied pagoda. We take this form as each floor represents a world and a vision of the universe based on Buddhist thought. Another Nikko tourist attraction is Lake Chuzenji, which originates from the eruption of Mount Nantai, which blocked the Oshiri River, forming a beautiful landscape and also giving rise to Kegon Falls, being one of the 3 largest in Japan. The second indispensable stop is Kyoto, famous for its ancient architecture. After all, according to some texts, it was founded in the 1st century as the capital of the empire in Japan, maintaining this title until the 19th century. If there's one thing in Kyoto, it's temples, with more than 2,000 in total. One you can't miss is the Fushimi Inari Taisha, a temple built to worship the god Inari, god of fox, rice, agriculture, fertility, and mainly business. Because of this, the most renowned merchants and artisans of the time donated a tori, which are these red entrance gates, to the temple, which makes it up to these days. Another feature of the temple is the various sculptures of foxes with keys in their mouths, scattered everywhere in the temple, painted homage to Inari himself. Another interesting attraction of Kyoto, which can be found almost everywhere, is the geisha, which was formerly a title only given to those women who had a high etiquette and were excellent singers, dancers, among other forms of entertainment. They were part of the high society, and unlike what much thought and think until today, they were not luxury prostitutes, but just people who entertained the public through demonstrations of their skills. The third place in the tour itinerary is the wonderful Okinawa, much researched for its beautiful beaches with crystal clean water and its vast marine biodiversity. In this type of attraction, a great place to go is the Okinawa Tsurami Aquarium, the second largest aquarium in the world, with an impressive diversity of species, including the different types of corals. It doesn't end there. In the terrain of the aquarium, there is still a garden with several species of plants, and right beside is the beach, which is where the water used in the tanks comes from. Another attraction of Okinawa is its gigantic natural caves, and one of them is the Gyokusendo Cave, which is over 300,000 years old and was cultivated on a coral reef, in addition to having several natural pools with such transparent blue water as the beach. As my last recommendation, if I could, I would say five more places. I introduce you to the famous Tokyo, the current capital of Japan and the largest metropolis in the country, containing both its more high-tech side with several modern and curious buildings, as for its more traditional and relaxing side with temples and parks for the more experienced to enjoy. As I'm young and enjoy good entertainment, I highly recommend Akihabara, a famous area in the Sotokanda neighborhood. For us, admirers of Japanese pop culture or otakus, this is undoubtedly an indispensable place in the script. It started as a black market after World War II, but today it is a place where you can find everything from Japanese pop culture, like manga, anime, video games, and electronics. It's like a quality Japanese 25 de março. Another point to visit, most recommended at night, is the Tokyo Tower, a copy of the Eiffel Tower, but in Japan. Don't let Japanese Hermes say that. Thanks. With a height of 334 meters, it's the second largest artificial structure in Japan and was built in 1958. It houses the Food Town, a four-story building located 850 meters from the ground with hotels, restaurants, and shops, and also provides access to two observatories, one also at 850 meters and the other at 250 meters. It was only surfaced because during the switch from analog to digital signal in 2012, it was not tall enough to support this equipment. So Tokyo Sky Tree Tower was built, more modern and 634 meters high. But I like more the classic one, so I decided to put it on this list. Here I put the bibliography, where are some sites that I use it to search about my dear country. And thanks everyone who watches this video, and I see you in the next one. Bye.